Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to court this morning. Before we start our hearing or whatnot, let's open in a word of prayer. If it's all right, I'll lead it. Our dear Heavenly Father, Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity you give us, Lord, to come in and be citizens and be citizens of this county and make decisions. Lord, we just hope that you guide us in the decisions we make. Lord, just thank you for forgiving our sins the way that you have. Lord, just watch over us, care for us, watch over this county. Thank you for all that you do. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I'll lead everyone in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Once again, good morning. Call this meeting to order. First off, I need approval of minutes.
Judge, make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Yeah, just make sure you come. Okay, that's all right. Okay. Okay, all right. See you.
Davenport,
She's coming. Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. I don't see anybody we had on our agenda for representatives from Spay Aid of Kentucky, but I don't see them here. So I'm going to skip ahead and
We're
going
running
over.
late this morning.
Everybody's running late. Apparently, they've got set their
Take a
clocks.
break.
All right. Next up, approval of bills and any supplement bill list.
Make a motion to approve the bill list and supplemental bill list as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. There's no further discussion. Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Sorry, my computer has done something weird on me here. All right, next up, treasurer's report.
Good morning, Court. I do have several things for you this morning. So we'll start with a financial statement ending February 29th, 2024. The balance in the general fund was $1,392,256.08. Road fund $973,323.39. Jail fund $143,863.91. LGEA fund $33,829.07. Federal grants fund $54.68. Solid waste recycling $451,813.40. Parks and Rec fund $1,636,109.77. Occupational tax $5,859,550.61. Life skills $158,355.67. 911 fund $257,083.25. Health insurance fund $561,602.09. County clerk storage fees $69,373.23. ARPA fund $4,050,901.24. National opioid settlement fund $159,940.70. Special reserve fund $4,328,779.74. For a total of all funds $20,076,836.83.
So acknowledged.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
The next thing that I have for you is a list of budget transfers that we need to get approved.
Motion to approve the budget transfers totaling $20,658.60.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
The next thing that I have for you is a budget amendment. It'll be the first reading of ordinance number 024-22001, amendment number 1. We will be amending in unbudgeted receipts from the Commonwealth of Kentucky. We will need to increase revenue code 044510 state grants by $666,739. 044510 state grants $1,101,400. 044510 state grants for $2 million. 034727 reimbursements miscellaneous $40,746. 034727 reimbursements miscellaneous by $44,018. 014733 insurance reimbursements by $6,649.08. 014733 insurance reimbursements by $4,411, which will increase expenditure code in the general fund 01501530 sheriff's maintenance vehicles by $6,649.08. LGEA fund 0450757727 KPDI grant, City of Russellville lift station by $666,739. LGEA fund 0450757716A EDF grant, West Industrial Park land for $1,101,400.00. LGEA fund 0450757716B KPDI grant for Shelton Lane prep and construction for $2 million. General fund 01508057 courthouse renewals and repairs, $4,411. Jail fund 0351011717 jail law enforcement equipment by $40,746. 0351011717 jail fund law enforcement equipment by $44,018. Total amount of the budget amendment for $3,863,963.08.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion on this? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Okay, and I do have some cash transfers for you this morning. We need to transfer $50,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the jail fund.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
We need to transfer $60,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the LGEA fund.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
And we need to transfer $35,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the 911 fund.
So moved. Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
And if that wasn't enough numbers for you in this segment, I can get you some more.
Oh, please.
Quite a few.
That'll do for now.
I wanted to hear more.
They're good numbers, though. I'd love
man.
to see $4 million
We're so
in new
lucky.
money coming
Good to see
in.
some positive
all
numbers at
day.
that point.
Yeah.
All right, next up is road work request, District 1.
District 1, only thing I got today with, I'd like to add 20 mile per hour speed sign on Slim Collins. Other than that, continue maintenance. Appreciate it.
District 2.
There at Sam Mason Road, Kirby Road, right there at the entrance of Sam Mason, and it's where all the big trucks and tractors and everything come through there. They're wearing the side of the roads out. If there's any way that we can put some rock on there, and I've already talked to you about Sam Mason Road and my flex, so, but other than that, thank y'all for all you do.
District 3.
Just continue maintenance. Appreciate all that you do.
Same thing on District 4, continue maintenance.
District 5.
First and foremost, people keep thanking me for their road work. And I keep telling them I'm not out there shoveling. So thank you very, very much for that. Now, unfortunately, Tommy Barnett Road off of Bucksville, first road on the right. That culvert has caused problems every year, I think. The pavement has sunk over that culvert again, maybe that much, so it probably needs to be done again. And there's a patch on Auburn Richley Road that has been done just about every year, and it's even, I don't know what's under there that it's given way.
Mud, salt, swishy ground.
Okay, it's sunk again, so, thank you.
District 6.
Continue maintenance. Appreciate everything y'all do. Thank you very much.
All right, I need approval of road work request.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any other discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Excuse me, thank you. All right.
Judge asked a question about road, I guess road stuff, but are we good on flex? The flex things? We got everything we need flex wise?
Yeah, we're working. We're starting to get it worked, I think. I'll get it all figured out here.
But you don't need anything from any of us?
I got everything I pretty much need, I just get,
So
sit down and
wait.
get started.
And we're waiting on Jason and Tyler for an arm wrestling match on some flex money, is what I heard. But is that what it is?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Yeah, I appreciate you all getting your flex money in. We're getting them lined out. We should be starting, hopefully paving here before long, so that'll be good. All right. My apologies. Let's move on. Next up, elected officials. Sheriff Stratton.
All I have today is get the fee report acknowledged.
Make a motion to acknowledge the sheriff's fee report.
Second.
I have a motion and a second over the fee report. Any other questions? Not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
That is it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We're gonna be out of here by 8:30.
Oh, you done jinxed us.
Oh, my
You
God.
jinxed us.
Oh, rolling like boats.
Stacy Watkins is feeling under the weather, so do you have something for? Okay, never mind. Come on up.
Stacy wasn't able to be here, but she did want me to go over the election plan, the dates, basically. The early voting is May 16th through the 18th, and that is at the Extension Office,
May, what was that day again?
16th to the 18th.
16th through the 18th.
May 16th through the 18th.
It's a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And the hours all 3 days are going to be 8 to 4, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then, of course, Election Day is May 21st. And we have a new location. It's at the CTC instead of Logan County High School. They're under construction and stuff. The Extension Office, Lewisburg School, Adairville School, and Auburn School. And those are the locations for Election Day. Any questions?
No, no changes except CTC instead of Logan County High School.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
We also have a fee report for Stacy.
Yes, we have the fee schedule for.
Make a motion to accept the Logan County Clerk's fee report as presented, totaling, looks like total fees are $73,552.30.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the fee report. There's no further discussion. Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilkins,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Here,
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. My apologies. I got choked up and coughing there and lost track of what I was doing. Thank you. Thank you, Hannah, for going to get me a water. I was about to. I was going to have to take a break and go get some. All right, next up, the jailer, Josh Toomey.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
As of this morning, our count was 161 total. We got 94 on our county side, 61 total state, 40 on the actual Class D side, 4 out of county and 2 out of state. All I have for you today is to discuss advertising for contracts. It's that time of year, and talking with Olivia, looks like we've got several that's for need to put out for bid, need to get advertised. Start with medical being one of them.
That medical contract is
Yes, it's
time to bid.
it's
I
their
don't remember if
time.
that one had a automatic renewal or an option to renewal.
I think it has an option, but
Are you wanting to
there was one
rebid that?
could. Well, I'm happy with what we have. Don't get me wrong. I just with the cost of it,
Does anybody remember if there's a renewal option on that?
I looked at that contract and it didn't stand out on that particular contract. I know a common part of that is what, a 3% maximum on the auto renewal.
Yeah, but it hadn't been in our contract when we
Right.
accepted it.
I don't remember there being a renewal on that.
I thought we did too.
I glanced through it. I didn't see one
At least
immediately on that.
But regardless, he said with cost, he would like to put it out to make sure that they're
Sure, yeah, if that's your,
in the market. You know.
I just thought we did that last time.
I think we did, but I would just say if we're gonna rebid it, make sure to let them know so that would exercise
Right.
yes.
determination clause.
Yeah, I think we did last year.
Which, don't get me wrong, I'm really happy with what services that we're getting. Our nursing staff's fantastic.
There is an auto renewal on that contract.
Okay.
Well, you look at that, I mean, if you
Okay.
want it
No, that's
requoted, but
Yes, sir.
if the price is, I can imagine prices going down, but if the price is staying the same, I mean,
Yes, sir.
we might want to elect for the automatic renewal. But we'll leave that up to you.
Okay.
And just let the judge know.
Right.
If it needs to be re-advertised,
Absolutely.
we'll re-advertise. If not, we'll do the auto renewal that's in there. I mean, you're doing a good job in the process, so.
okay. You've been around longer than me.
Well, I mean, sometimes it does need to be requoted just to see what the market is, but
Yeah.
I think everybody's in agreement, we did do that last year, right? We did bid it last year.
And the year before.
Correct.
Well, what memories, that's great. I'd have to go back and.
I know there's some new implementations that we're being told are coming down, so with insurance
It
premiums.
could be that they want to cancel it and rebid it, so you might just get with them and see if we need to do that, because either side has that option.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We
sir.
also have timeliness, which I think is usually 90 days. which
Yes, that would be,
90 days would be the end of this month.
yes, sir. And then, you correct me if I'm wrong on some of the other auto renewals, but we've got several contracts, which happy with plumbing, but HVAC as well, happy with that. And then our inmate communication as well as our commissary service, but all those are on 1 year, or I'm sorry, the medical was on 1 year, the CPC for the inmate communication was 2 years, and the commissary was 1 year. So,
Yeah, I don't think you have to bid those out with this process with gravel and paving. And
okay,
other items. We've never done that at that time. We kind of just did them as the contracts were up.
Yes, sir.
Kind of stood alone.
yes, sir.
Now, I'm not saying you can't do it at this time, but, I mean, we've never done those when we've done gravel, tires, paving, tile, fuel.
Yeah, I don't think all of them have the same end date. I
That's
think
right.
the medical was like,
Commissary is
all that.
different, the medical is different, all those contracts he's referring to. But again, if you're happy with the service.
Yes, sir.
And the price, and
Yes,
think
sir.
it's fair market price, if it's automatic renewal.
Yes, sir.
Bring it before the court and make that suggestion that we just renew the existing. And when those are, you know, like, Joe said, prior to whatever that date is, if it's 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days, you know.
Yes, sir. I'll have that
well,
ready
with
for
the paper
next
thing
board
now,
meeting.
we have to put it out pretty early because we only get once, we only one meeting a month, and we have to wait, skip a meeting, and then the next meeting we can.
But if he's recommending auto renew, you don't have to put it out.
Yeah, but I think he said there's one or two in there that don't have an auto renew, right?
Yes, and I'll have to go through to make sure I didn't miss that, but yes, some of them are,
Some of them are not auto renew.
yes.
Like the 2-year deal.
Yes, that's,
Auto renew.
yes.
Absolutely.
We're just taking the same bid every year and solely doing it as a useless act to satisfy the auditors.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Bring it back and.
Will do. Thank
And I
you.
think what Thomas is saying too, is that the chance that you put it out for bid, the price could go up
Yeah.
significantly more.
absolutely.
than it is. If you were to auto renew, you know what
Kind of.
you're saying.
Makes it easier for budgeting too, so.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to department heads. First up is Ginger Lawrence, you'll see. Morning, Ginger.
I think we're all coughing and hacking and.
Keep that stuff over there.
Oh, look, he had to go get some cough drops too, you know.
I've had mine.
Sorry, I appreciate it.
Well, it's just
too.
like every time you get better, the weather changes, makes us all sick again. The only thing I have this morning is a personnel action request. It's for Erin Embry. She graduated the academy. So,
Congratulations.
yay. And I got one more starting in 2 weeks, so
Nice.
we're getting good. But she officially graduated on the 8th, so wanting to move her up a position. Come on, Tyler, check my math.
I need to check mine too.
That was just one we messed up.
Working on it. I wasn't prepared.
Well, I sat down with Paula yesterday when I filled it out just to make sure. I'm like,
Well, if Paula says it's good, it's good.
she told me what to put and where to put it.
I think it's under the judge's office.
You got any updates on employment? You have no openings currently?
We have no openings currently. We've got one scheduled to go to the academy, and that leaves only 2 more that are uncertified. One's a part-time and one's a full-time.
Great. That's good news. That's
Yes,
good to hear.
You getting some respect?
You need to shake.
maybe a little.
Turn
Maybe
it
just
I
a
guess
little.
that much is better than none.
Yes. I get to take a vacation here in a couple weeks. so.
Oh, first one in how long?
Well, we go every year, just the first time that I get to go at the same time as the rest of my family. Usually they go and then I come down for a couple
Whenever you get a
days.
chance.
It's good to hear.
Our county's lucky to have a fully staffed now.
Yes, they are very lucky.
They talk about all these counties that can't get it.
Well, in fact, I talked to one of the other counties, and they wanted to see my pay scale so that they could kind of
They're trying to see what the problem is.
what their problem is.
That's what I meant. They're saying
I said, this is the first time I've ever been able to, and the girl that I was talking to, I've been to training with for years, and she said, you've never been able to say that. I said, never.
If you
And I
pay,
mean,
they will come.
It's right, exactly. It's kind of like,
That's so true.
Okay, I make a motion for, to approve personal action requests for Erin Embry. Erin's still in her 0 year of experience. She's, her hire date was just like July. Yeah, 23, but still, yeah, she's still in year 0. She is moving from base schedule LC-EC-1 to LC-EC-1S1, going from her trainee to a TPS certified.
Good for her.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second by Chris. Any other discussion on this? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Did you need to see that?
Crawford,
Yes.
yeah,
Bolden,
sometimes they do weird stuff.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Thank you, and I think
That's it.
everything else is on the agenda, so I'm good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Denise Shoulders, Archives. Got a lot of work going on down there.
We do, so I just really have an update for everybody. If you haven't seen our Facebook page, we were closed last week for a major move. I want to say a huge thank you to Josh Toomey for giving us some help from the work crew, to Solid Waste Coordinator Nathan Cockrell, and the guys, Tim Pitts, and the guys out at the Recycle Center for helping us to move a ton of things. We are back opened up down there. It is limited because there are still some things because of the move that we can't access. We've got things still stuffed into the jail cells. So if you do come and visit us, please be patient with us. And we are also canceling the spring overnight event because we can't really find everything right now. Can't do the overnight event and help research if we can't find everything. We have been able to benefit the animal shelter, the jail or the detention center, and the IT department with excess items that we are no longer going to have space for.
Right.
So this thing has been good for a lot of departments. Anybody have any questions?
I just know the pictures you sent me. It's if you haven't been down there, they've moved a lot of material getting ready for all this new shelving and such. And
We're going to do an overnight, not an overnight. We're going to do an open house.
Good.
We're going to do a private open house for court and our staff and volunteers and our board members, so that way you guys can come on the off hours and then do a public open house the next day, so everybody can come in and see all the changes once everything is finished.
Denise,
Yes.
I might have forgotten this, but what about your heat and air, or the condensation
Okay,
issues
so
and stuff?
we're waiting on the grant that we applied for. They notified the recipients in June. So they notify in June, and then the project has to be completed, paid for July to October. So we're still waiting on notification on that.
You feel like, is that going to be able to be coordinated without sort of impacting what you're getting ready to do with the shelves and stuff?
I think it will, because that is just replacing the outside unit. There's
You
not
get
going to be
that wall sweat, right?
No, we just get sweat in general. Some of the issues that we've had in the past were, I think, a drip pan in the attic, and then we get ice dams a lot in the wintertime. When we get a lot of ice, it'll create a dam, and then once it melts, it'll come down between the residents and the jail, and so it'll kind of flood. But those issues, from what I'm told, have been corrected, and with the new roof on the jail and the residents this year, hopefully that will solve those problems altogether, at least for a while.
So you've got a new roof that will prevent that from happening?
Yes, we got a new roof because of the windstorm last March.
Oh.
Yeah, last year in that windstorm.
There's always a silver lining.
Yes, so because of the windstorm that came through, we lost some shingles, so
They
we
got
ended
in
up
there
with
and
a whole
fixed
new.
that other issue. Okay, great.
Yep.
Did you get your front door water issue?
No, but there's an idea on that one that will come up at future meetings.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I asked them.
This is just some stuff that Denise and I have been discussing. She found some old pictures of the old house. Some
Yes.
what year were that picture?
1912.
1912, when the house was originally there.
And so there was a full-length porch, and so we're doing some checking. We're doing some checking on some things.
Well, I asked that about,
Yep.
I mean, I hate for you to put all that new stuff in and then
Right.
put the plastic back up. and stuff, so I
Exactly.
didn't know.
Oh, no, all of that's gone. But
Yeah.
yeah, so on the front door, we're checking into a
Some
solution
options.
for that.
Well, the porch would do it.
It would.
Yeah.
It really would.
Yeah, it
So,
would.
but we're checking because we're gonna,
Yeah,
Yep.
everybody, same thing.
Yep, so, but we're checking, and there might be a give and take. I'm hoping that's what we're looking at, so.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, that's great.
Thank you.
That's where we're at, thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Next up, Road Department. Pee Wee, do you have anything for us, sir?
Yes, sir, we have, I guess I'll bring up the tractors down.
That's on the agenda.
Okay, then we're getting new uniforms, start getting them up to par.
Are they coming tomorrow?
Blind.
New uniforms for all of you.
They'll be the striped shirts like we'll be in the blind space.
Yeah.
So we're gonna recognize you guys.
Yeah. That's all we got.
All right.
Timmy said he might have some extra orange jumpsuit.
Sometimes we feel like that.
That's funny.
Good for you.
Let's see, I don't see anybody. All right, Nathan, Solid Waste, come on up, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Have a good little sermon for you right here. I realize it's getting a little
All right,
bit
bring it
busy
on.
today, so
Keep it down to 3 points.
we'll try. We will try. So I wanted to go ahead and lead off with this for us today. Jared McKinney is here. Mr. McKinney is here today to answer questions or offer any information. What this is concerning is you all were sent an application for a license to open a construction and demolition landfill less than 1 acre in Logan County. So just a little bit of the details about that. And you correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, Mr. McKinney. It's about a mile south of the Russellville bypass and a little over a half mile east of 431 South is the location of this proposal. And there is material on the site already, which Mr. McKinney is working with state official Jennifer Burns to alleviate, which brings us here to this point today. And I will be glad to give you her contact info. She invited anybody to call about that because she's been doing, I know the question came about the enforcement, where
Yeah,
that was
that
coming
was
from.
my question.
Jennifer is working on the enforcement. And she would be very well able to
She's not
answer
the
those
one from Bowling
questions.
Green.
She is from Bowling Green.
She's the Bowling Green,
She's-
okay, contact.
Yeah, she's from the Bowling Green
Okay.
State
All
EPA
right,
office.
okay.
So, and she's been working on the
Because
enforcement
I
side
didn't
of this
see her
issue.
insert.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know, I looked for it and it wasn't there, so.
she'll give you any information you need.
Okay,
I'll be glad to
okay.
get you anything she doesn't have for you. Mr. McKinney has paid his application fee and has passed a background check from the sheriff. The sheriff worked on that and he's passed through that. And there is one of the questions that came up was the ordinance does talk about an engineer for the site. Due to the size of the landfill and the nature of the trash and the ability that I felt like he could close it himself, I decided it would be okay to file it with you all without that. Of course, that's all y'all's prerogative as to what you would like to have.
Well, that was
And
number one.
So,
It said engineer's report.
Listen to what Ms. Burns said about
yeah, you go ahead and say.
before the application is approved, the state can't take any actions. She can't come down and meet with y'all. She can't do anything officially, but she said that she had engineers with the state and would bring one down to look at it, but he couldn't. I guess they have to justify their time.
That's what I understand.
And because it's less than an acre, is that part of the issue then, the smaller area?
It's a smaller area, and of course, it is a large expense if you had to hire a private engineer. But again, you know.
And the actual area that will be used to dispose of waste that's already there will be well under a quarter of an acre.
Yeah, I saw the site in the visuals from the aerial.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so as far as closure goes, you could comment on this, Mr. McKinney, but he has the ability to probably do most of the work himself.
Yes, I've got the dirt and equipment and everything, and what Mr. Burns' suggestions were, cover it with a layer of red clay and then put topsoil on it and sow it down to grass. I had asked about planting trees, and that wasn't the preferred
Methodology.
No, they just grass and keep it bush hogged or whatever. All she said was,
Was there no plan for a fabric, beneath it all? Because I know that some places do require, but having not seen Jennifer's thing, that there was no film that you could put down to prevent further future leakage?
because of the red clay subsoil and
That's its
the
own
type
barrier.
of fill that's going to go in there, she didn't think it was necessary. Of course, consult the engineer that she brings down to, and I made at that time that soil sample. So
Well, the bigger problem for me would be, of course, Auburn, we're facing having a situation at our more eastern end, and that's the reason my questions, as much as anything, to prevent any future problem for you two. If something should happen, somebody said, well, something's in my water, you can say, no, I checked with here, I checked with here, I checked with here, and I'm covered. And my questions were as much for you as they were for me, because I'll tell you this, there are a lot of people who would have just filled that up and never ask a thing. And so my hat's off to you for taking this, doing it the official way. That is what we all hope.
yeah, well, that's what I intend to do it. And the state has different criteria for a construction demolition landfill, where the county just has straightforward, put anything in there
Yes.
up to hazardous waste.
Yes.
type landfill.
So good for you
Which is-
for doing it the right way.
Is a little different, well, quite a bit different actually, but
This is just construction debris, so
Yeah.
it shouldn't have the mice and the rats and the buzzards and everything else. Nobody's wanting to chew on none of those varmints are wanting to chew on a 2x4 or a rotted piece of OSB board. I mean, it's construction debris. you know.
No tires or anything in there?
people have come in and left a few tires, they sneak in. But as far as varmints go, rabbits and coyotes is always there.
Yeah, they like dens in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it gonna be moved, I mean, like, you're not gonna move it, it's not gonna come towards the road? that-
No, it's going to the back, from the aerial drone pictures, I think you can see how deep
Yeah.
the cut is back
And you're
there.
just gonna be able to get cropland on top of that, looks like.
Well, it'll be a very small addition,
Little area.
but we will sort through the debris and anything that's recyclable. It's not, I've got,
He's taken several loads of recyclable material off already. So,
and
So you're doing all the right things.
the container service that dumped there, I don't know why. When I demolish a house, we strip out, and I've taken several down around town, we strip out anything that's recyclable and sell it. And the shingles and stuff like that goes to the transfer station.
In Auburn.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And so really all we're left with is untreated wood, masonry products, concrete, bricks, etc. like that. And until the container service brought, that was all that was there.
Okay.
But
Well, I'm grateful again that you have gone about doing it the right way, going through Nathan, going through the court, because not everybody does.
well, Nathan will, and Miss Burns both will help me with what's recyclable, where it can go, and all that stuff, because it's not all readily apparent.
Nathan,
We appreciate you coming and explaining everything, Mr. McKinney.
Well,
Appreciate you.
Not much of an explanation. I think more detail when Ms. Burns is able to get the state engineer down. And she thinks she can. It's not 100% guaranteed deal, but she knew she couldn't even ask till the application was approved.
So it's like a chicken and the egg thing, which, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's sort of
Yeah.
what it is. And,
Yeah.
she's, since I'm not gonna bring any additional,
So this is a one-time, never again thing? Is that what I understood?
that's what I intend. I will know when I get done. I don't think I want to see the landfill at my age. If I was 10 years younger, I possibly would be very interested in going the full 9 yards and doing it right. Something like that is needed in this area. There's no place in Logan County to go except the transfer station.
I know.
And the type of stuff that you take to the, that landfill, it's too expensive to take to the transfer station. Block, brick, concrete stuff, that's pretty expensive when you go that route.
So when we get Jennifer's report, you can just forward it to us, and then we can look at that and see her recommendation. That was in lieu of the film underneath that, the red clay, which, by the way, the Native Americans used to make pottery. So, I mean, we know it's pretty, if you try to plant something directly in it, you know, too.
I've always wanted to make bricks.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would work.
The red clay in Logan County would make as fine bricks as anybody's made anywhere.
Right,
And
right,
historically has.
yeah. Okay.
And I would definitely encourage you to give her a call. Like I said, I'll give you her number. She can really
Okay, I'll
answer
be glad to
questions.
do that
She was-
myself rather than keep you in the middle, that's fine.
She was, she felt good about presenting it to you all at this point, and so, working with her, I wanted to just see what you all thought about this and what direction to go. If you all decided to go forward, the way we changed our ordinance last year, a public hearing is required. So he's gonna put the notice in the paper for all that, and we would have to hear what the public had to say on this before we could do anything about it. So if y'all decided to move forward.
Question I have is, I guess, how long is this debris that's out here accumulated? I mean, is this the action we're taking, a remedy to a problem, or is it
I had brought stuff in for 10, 12 years where I demoed houses in town, and like I said, it was masonry products, untreated wood, the plumbing stuff, all the electrical stuff was stripped out. Like I said, anything that was recyclable. I mean, they paid money for it. There wasn't any sense in disposing of it. But when they brought that stuff in on containers, John Baker with B3 Electric, it was full of wire and steel and everything else, stuff that wasn't supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So, just scratching the surface, we've sold hundreds of dollars worth of
Well,
recyclables.
you get a little kickback for your effort then, at least.
but is this, I mean, is the previous effort required some sort of permitting, or is this, like I said, a remedy to a pre-existing issue? Has this always been allowed to happen?
So the material he had was very light there before, but in the last year or so, he started taking in more material that really wasn't allowed, and he's acknowledged that.
But
And this is a remedy to
But
fix.
the previous, did that require a permit, or?
No, what
So
he was
none of
having there was just like block and but this is a different, there's a lot of material out there right now.
Yeah, I guess I would have assumed that anything of this nature, whether small or big, would have required some. I'm just sort of educating myself here.
What I saw out there, I can't speak to every time, everything that's been out there, it wasn't any big, but in the last, year and a half or so, it's been a lot
in
more
last
material.
year,
Yeah.
They brought in 120 containers
Yeah.
of debris, and that's what caused the problem. I didn't realize, but I'm not making excuses.
No, I don't
It's-
hear that.
It's got to be dealt with properly, and
Yeah.
that's
And a little bit more to your question, Thomas was his magistrate for a while, and he and I both talked to Mr. McKinney about that, make sure it didn't get, like what you're talking about, where it got out, but it ended up where,
And that's been there for
So-
a while, and anytime there was any questions, I would always go to Mr. McKinney, and he was always good, oh yeah, somebody dumped illegally on you.
Yeah,
one
that was
time,
one of the
and
times,
he
yeah.
cleaned it up, and, he was just putting his own stuff, and I assumed you were selling red clay for a while.
Yes, still
And
are.
had a hole.
That's how I got the pit.
Now we're filling it up, and it was his own stuff. Now there's an opportunity to put construction debris in it, and that's the best way to fill the hole. I tend to agree with him, but he's always been straightforward with me.
But it's only gonna be this stuff that we're seeing in this picture. It's not more stuff coming in.
That's what that's how he feels right now, although, and if y'all say that that's what he could do, we'll have to, the ordinance isn't really written that way, to do it that way, where it's just like a one-time and that's it, but I'd have to talk with Joe, I guess, about that, as to how he felt, if we could maybe pass something where nothing else could be put in there or not, but.
Let's talk about that after.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But the debris that's there is close to the road, and it will be moved to the farthest end. Yeah, scroll just a little farther. Yeah, it's about a 20-foot wall there. And I doubt where you see the inset, when it's all transferred back there, I think it will probably be come out about as far as that bank does, where that makes that bend. Yeah.
So Nathan, are we needing a vote or anything for now, or are we just needing permission? I'm a little lost on what we're doing right now.
So it really, the way I understand this is it's a consideration to move forward into a public hearing at some point in a later meeting. Is that what you might?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now, you're just asking to get this landfill application approved.
Well, it couldn't be, I guess it could just be passed on to where there's a public hearing. I don't guess it technically can be approved until you all heard from the public.
You would be accepting his application and setting a future hearing. Is that
Okay, okay.
First step. What's your question?
Future hearing.
All minds at ease?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
You good?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Make
we
the
need a
motion.
motion
So we need
to
we need-
accept this to move for a future date. So moved.
Second. No. Jamie, go.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on this
I
program?
don't know if I worded that exactly how you need it, Olivia, but I think you understand the intent. We are
Right.
approving his application here to start the process of moving it forward.
Right, advertising.
And I would I would maybe go ahead and, what are you all thinking? How long is he gonna need to get the stuff? Get the answers on the things, because you probably wanna get that done between now and the public hearing, if the lady at the state is gonna be helping him with that.
Right. Would you think we might want to do it in a couple of meetings from now, the public hearing, or?
Might, yeah, but I don't think Ms. Burns, until the application's actually accepted or approved, or, she can't do anything.
Okay.
Without, she's got a time to justify and
Okay.
So it would be
Need
the
your
April the
application
9th or
before
the
she can come
23rd
back.
would be our next available meeting.
I think that engineer report needs to be provided at that hearing.
she won't be able to get an engineer from the state.
Unless
Not from this step here.
Do
of
you
accepting-
want him to hire an engineer? Is that something y'all are wanting to have him do? He could do that, but of course
I sort of took it that us accepting the application was sufficient for notice to her.
Between now
we
and
can
next
ask
meeting,
her.
you can get that answer, and, I'm like Chris, it seems like, at what point do they step in and start making?
It wouldn't be very helpful to have the report after the hearing.
Yeah, I
so.
mean, I don't know why I don't know why she wouldn't come until after that. I think this acknowledgement here would hopefully engage, the state people at Bowling Green. If not, we'll have another discussion, but I'm like Chris, I would assume the process would be, yeah, county's gonna move forward with this application, they're gonna have a public hearing. Now is the time to engage the engineers and consultants and,
Okay,
make a recommendation if there is one.
okay. So if an engineer can't come from the state, you want to revisit this next time, is that?
Yeah, we can talk about it next court meeting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I never talked to her,
I'll work on it.
specifically about, approvals and that sort of thing, so. yeah.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. If there's any other discussion?
Oh, thank you.
If not, roll call, please.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilco.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes?
Bolden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
And I will try to get that answer to you
Thank you.
in the interim, and then we'll go from there as to if the engineer can't submit something, we'll just talk about it next time, I guess, if that sounds good.
Well, this is the first time either one of us have done anything like this, so.
Yeah,
we're
this is new
figuring
ground,
our
so
way
we'll
in the
work
dark.
Us too, so.
Yeah.
There hadn't been a request for any landfill thing since the one out here closed. Every now and then we get some kind of, another 5 acres over here, or something like that. That's been years ago.
All right. Thank you, Mr. McKinney.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right, Nathan, what else do you have for us?
Yes, sir. So we did have our litter abatement report in there for the month of February. Always appreciate the detention center crew. They've been working hard out there, and 30 miles, 326 bags, and 6 tires is what we had. We did have a recycling report in there too from Tim and the detention center crew. We had 25 bales of cardboard, some paper that was there, and also we did have a large metal load from the archives. We reported in there about a ton of material there, and we're glad to get that recycled. And we did have a continuation of our program for recycling cans from the elementary schools. Darrellville gave us another load, and Stevenson is coming on. I think there's some other schools that are going to be coming on too, so we're expanding that program out, so we're happy about that. And I also had 2 permits to approve for recyclers, Auburn Pallet and Apex out at South Union. So I did want to comment a little bit on Apex. I was out there yesterday. The site construction is coming along. They do have a building with some pits in it that are going to, they seem to me to be well constructed. There is, like I said, another building coming, and a nice fence has been put in. And trees are, what they tell me, trees are going to go in the next 30 days around the
That's been
front.
promised for years.
It has, and I'm hoping to actually see it come to pass. And but yeah, they have put in a fence across the road to catch the litter that blows out. So there has been some positive things that I'm seeing out there. So I submit those 2 per.
Well, I just really appreciate if they could keep the piles less than 2 stories high, which
And-
I've asked the owner about, and
I
it
believe
seems
that
to
will
still be
happen.
2 stories high.
Yeah, I believe that will happen when this all gets done. That building is getting close.
And it's really big.
Yeah, it's really big to work on it, and I believe that's what they have is gonna come further off the road and also be less. It'll be more indoors.
Well, it looks phenomenally better than it has.
Thomas.
So, we gotta be grateful for the little steps if they get to the big one, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for all your effort, being my go-between, I'm really grateful.
You're welcome.
Oh, one
Nathan.
question. Do I need to go to Logan Aluminum and ask them about the nice receptacles? Now, you said they have one in the Darrellville. And, I was hoping each school would get one that designated their school emblem or whatever, and they said that would be no problem, but it hasn't been forthcoming.
So what it is, they decided to go with inside cans in the schools for the recycling, and then as far as the actual outside bin that Tim picks up, they haven't really done. They just kind of put it with the cardboard pretty well. And so that's the route they decided to go at this point.
Well,
So,
I
I
was
mean, if you want to
unaware
talk to
that
them,
they
you
changed their
can. But,
minds.
yeah, so.
I'm glad this is on TV. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
But they are working on these schools to get them, like little inside cans to where they can put the students' collected materials in them.
Well, see, I think it was Western that had the big emblem
Mhm.
and
It was really
the towel.
nice. We talked
and,
about it, but
Yeah, I thought they had told me they could do that for the schools here, but
they decided to
changed
go
their mind.
a little different route, so.
All right, we have applications out there we need approval for. Is that correct?
Apex, is that what it's called?
Apex and Auburn Pallet.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve Apex and Auburn Pallets permit application.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Unless y'all had any questions, that was it,
No,
I guess.
thank you, Jim.
All- My sermon is done, so.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Then
Next-
amen was
Next up, Eric for the animal shelter. Hey, Eric. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Very quicker. We'll be done quick.
Good, thank you.
All right. All right, so as I said before, this is gonna be come out at the first meeting of the month. I'm gonna just pass this out, so we actually have it updated till today. So, yeah, pass that down. What I'll do is, the first meeting, every time, I'll do the previous month. So this kind of shows of March. So come April, I'll have all of March's filled out of all the dogs that have been in and out of the facility. So that's exactly how it's gonna look, and this is how it is up to date. As of today, we have 66 dogs at the facility. We gained 9 total dogs. 13 dogs were brought into the facility and 2 adopted out. But we do have a mom and her 6 puppies are part of a seized case that are not adoptable at this point, so that kind of skews our numbers a little bit. We are waiting for the Fiscal to get our credit card machine whenever that was ordered, to hopefully get onto straight credit cards instead of taking cash and doing anything else. But we did adopt 2 dogs out with cash, and we did do all the proper steps to get it done. So we're still trying to move dogs with what we have and what we can adopt out. So that's where we're at with that. Bowling Green Humane Society has opened up 33 spay-neuter times for us over the next 30 days. So with that, we should have every dog in the facility, knock on wood, that are totally fixed, are fixed and ready to roll. So that's a good deal for us. Once again, we did lock in Sunday, April 14th is our open house. We do have a food truck already booked. We have 1 vendor booked and 1 vendor possible. So we're asking if anybody knows of a face painter. We'd love to have a face painter come out, kind of do something for the kids. So if anybody knows of anybody, please pass that on to me. And if anybody knows any vendors who would love to participate, let us know. We'd love to have them. So that is something we're looking forward to. As I say, every day we're getting cleaner and better, and the facility's really starting to shape up real nice. Everything is either ordered or being ordered today. That is to replace everything the Humane Society has taken out. So it is bought or ordered. The only big issue we have, a major concern, is getting the kennels built. Like I said, we do have to do a little construction. I did go to the class the other day, so I'm hoping that we can maybe get some inmates out just to help us build the kennels. Because once we get those, we can flip them over, and then the Humane Society can take their kennels, and we can, be 100%, free and clear of the Humane Society, and they can then have all their stuff to start building their facility and do everything as well. Other than that, I don't have anything else. That was pretty quick and easy. Any questions?
We're gonna get one of these every month.
Yeah, so what it's going to do is, I'm hoping not to be here on the next one, because I shouldn't have anything hopefully nothing to say. But on the first, we'll have that, and it'll be for the previous month.
Each time.
So then we'll know exactly, like I said, be 100% transparent of where we're coming and where we're going. And, so everybody knows what's going on.
What's your per animal cost on that Warren County event?
Spay and neuter.
The
spay and neuter.
Yeah.
It's rough. Depends. When we get, if they're pit bulls, they're $10. So it's like when we go to Bowling Green, then the other one's like $50. So every time it's $50 to get them spayed or neutered. And that's why our cost sheets pretty much cover the spay and neuter and then our medicines. Our medicines, I think I'd have to go back in my thing, but roughly $12 to get our dogs, all the shots and everything they need. So we're at like $65 right in there to our cost. Yep.
Thank you.
You got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
All right, thanks.
And as I said, I would encourage anybody that's looking for a dog to go out and get one from the shelter. If nothing else, just go out and visit the shelter. It's a dramatic change compared to what it was.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, sir. All right, moving on to judges' announcements. I think I got everybody. So moving on, judges' announcements. March the 16th is cleanup day at Red River Meeting House and Cemetery. If you plan to help, please arrive by 9 a.m. Bring gloves, yard tools, and anything you might need. Lunch will be provided. Please let Richard Moore know if you plan to help. You can call 270-539-6528. March 22nd, Russellville High School presents Notes Over Noodles at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $10. Include your choice of spaghetti or Alfredo, salad, bread, dessert, and drink. Proceeds benefit the band boosters. March the 23rd is the county clerk will be open Saturday for vehicle business only, 9:30 a.m. Check your cards. If you have a PVA, need to see the PVA, you need to see them on the weekday. They are not open on Saturday. Also, March 23rd, Logan County Search and Rescue will have their 52nd annual fish fry. It'll begin at 5 p.m. at the Logan County Extension Office. A donation of $10 for a plate, a hot dog plate for $4, door prizes and other prizes. Grand prize of $300 will be given away. Also, as Eric mentioned, April the 14th at the Animal Shelter, we'll be having open a house from 12 to 3. Encourage anyone to come out. Any vendors that want to set up, please contact the shelter. With that being said, let's move on. I don't think we have any reports. So this brings us to citizens' participation. If anyone would like to speak right now, please come up to the podium and make yourself known and whatever you might want to discuss. All right, then. Through the thousands and thousands I see from me, no one is doing it. So let's move on to old business. Number one is discuss purchase of land for new park facility. Thomas, would you like to lead us out on this?
Tyler's got something he was gonna mention.
Or Tyler, sorry, either one of you.
The one thing I was going to mention was that, the Parks and Recreation topic and the need and the want that we've had from the public has been a long, ongoing project. And we've had different groups that have came and they have mentioned their needs and their wants, and hey, we would love to have something here. And during my time talking to lots of my constituents is that we need more things for our children, need more things for our retired community, we need more things for just the active person. So, I really do believe that we have taken a planned out and just it's taken a while to get to the point we are today. To say that any of this is some big secret is just someone, I guess, that's not paid much attention, because we've been working on this for quite some time. And I was just going to kind of go over a timeline of the things that we have done up to this point in regards to Parks and Recreation project that we've been talking about. On September the 24th in 2019, Joel Turner of WKU Department of Political Science presented the Logan County Parks and Recreation Survey Report of results. The results indicated that 80% evaluated recreation opportunities in Logan County as fair or poor, with 84% supporting an increased parks and recreation spending. So WKU has a department of just basically, they do statistics. And I hated statistics in college. I know just very little bit about it, but other than the confidence level is like a standard. I think 5% is like a standard that 5% below or above of what you get on these reports. And they was able to get enough information that gave us a 4% confidence level, minus or plus. So we had a very good success on doing the study that we hired WKU to do that in 2019. After those results, and to mention as well, it's a very detailed report, and it also gives us, information on what we can do, what we can plan to put into the facility. Most we already knew, but it was in confirmation. And it gave us some other ideas as well. And then on June 2nd of 2020, recommended by Magistrate Bolden here in front of me, Fiscal Court created a fund for a future parks and recreation project with the appropriate revenue and expenditure line items, allotting $250,000 in the Logan County Fiscal Court budget year for fiscal year 2021. So basically, we was trying to be more responsible, I would say, and more, instead of just going at it with nothing already any capital to take towards a project, we decided to put back money, just like if you were doing a project at home or you were doing something in your business, you would save money a little at a time, which is what we decided as a court to do. So we started putting back $250,000 per year, and we did that for fiscal years 2020, 2021, 21 and 22, and 22, 23. And then fiscal year 23, 24, which is when all of us were on the court doing our budget year, we decided to increase that amount from $250 to $350. So just kind of to keep up with the times and to make sure that we're putting enough in to do something substantial with bringing something to the community. And then June 13th of 2023, Fiscal Court approved to advertise for the purchase or acquisition of land for the future Logan County Park project. So last summer, as y'all were here, so y'all know, we put out a request for proposal from landowners in the community and say, hey, we're looking to build a project. If you have property what you think it would fit our needs, respond with your property and what you would want for it or in location. And we got several responses. I don't remember how many. I think three. We got three total.
Replied to that.
Right. So we did that and got our three total responses. And in June 27th of 2023, Fiscal Court voted to transfer $686,449.26 in revenue loss from the ARPA fund to the general fund. We chose to transfer $500,000 of that from the general fund to the Parks and Rec fund. So that gave us an additional $500,000 to go towards our future park project. So with all that being said, today the county has $1,600,000 saved up in an account that will allow us to have a substantial amount of money that we have saved over time responsibly to go towards a project that will benefit this community for many, many years. And to be honest, I mean, up to this point, we're missing out on a lot, and the people in our community are missing out on a lot for not having a facility like that we can provide them. And I think over time, since and it's been before 2019. I mean, it's been before that. Thomas, that was when I first started on court, and that's when we started doing those things. But I feel like we have responsibly and taken time and thought it out, and now I think we're in a position to where we can move forward and take the next step. So that's all I have to say about it. I was going to move. I think Thomas has something.
Yeah, well, I was just, going to mention, appreciate that background, because that does help us to understand where we've been. And even prior to that, going back to previous administrations and previous judge, I mean, we looked at other properties, and going back to the Boy Scout camp, even before they were going to sell the Boy Scout camp, we talked about the Boy Scout camp. So we've moved forward, we put the brakes on, we've moved back. I think that was all good, that we did that. So it put us in a good position to where we are here today. And again, if with that being said, and after a long search, I am ready to make a motion here if y'all are ready for it. I'm just going to read this out because there is a lot of moving pieces in this proposal and in this motion. Matter of fact, one that I even have to add to what's before you now. So I've given it to y'all for y'all to read along with me. But after many years, like Tyler has mentioned, of dreaming, planning, budgeting, visions have been cast, committees have met, research has been conducted, options have been explored, and negotiations have taken place to obtain real estate suitable for a park for the citizens of Logan County. At last, it's my honor to make a motion to the Logan County Fiscal Court to purchase all the acreage on the north side of the bypass, approximately 241 acres, from H&H Sheet Metal for $15,000 per acre. At closing, we would bring to the table $1,250,000 to be required, and the balance shall be paid annually over the next 7 years on or before September the 15th each year, beginning in 2025. A sale-back option to the original seller for the same price paid will be available to us. As the buyer, if we, as the buyer, were to exercise this option, it is understood, wait a minute, I left a sentence out. On or before those payments would start on September 15th each year beginning 2025, a sale-back option to the original seller for the same price will be available to us. However, the sale-back option expires December 31st, 2026 at 11:59 p.m., which is the end of the day. If we, as the buyer, were to exercise this option, it is understood that we would sell back the land in its entirety, approximately 241 acres, including in improvements, back to H&H Sheet Metal. In this motion, I'm proposing that the Logan County Fiscal Court accepts the offer from H&H Sheet Metal contingent upon the following actions, but not limited to: 1, meeting the mandatory requirements of the KRS regarding governmental entities purchasing property, including but not limiting to a significant certified appraisal. 2, verifying the sale price. The acreage could be, that's plus or minus, that's the reason that says that. 3, receiving a favorable findings from environmental testing. 4, receiving favorable findings from an engineering studies, including but not limiting to those conducted by an engineer specializing in the construction of local parks to ensure the property is suitable for the desired purpose. 5, obtaining title opinions, surveys, and other legal services chosen by the court. And 6, just one other caveat, after speaking with the county attorney here to make sure we've got everything right, I would further move to allow Judge Baker and County Attorney to enter into a more formal purchase agreement, including a general due diligence clause, more specifically setting forth the terms and contingencies, as well as a time frame for the studies of the property. Put that for you in form of a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Sorry, that was a lot to read. Sorry, I got off track there. And you have that proposal underneath that.
Yeah, I just wanted to write
Saw
it
that, so, y'all have seen it before, but anyhow.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor in a second. Before we move on with a roll call, we need, is there any other discussion from the court on this?
I will make one more comment as far as, cash flow goes on the payments that we're going to make. I think it's worth mentioning that during our discussions, budget-wise, there really is going to be no difference than what we've been doing since 2019 at this point. Our first payment of I think it's somewhere around $320,000 a year, which is less than what our bond payment is for the jail. Well, this year, we will make our last bond payment on the jail, and then starting in 2025, we'll have our first payment on this property, which is somewhat less than the jail payment. So as far as budget goes and what we're going to be seeing at this point, there will be really no difference in the yearly budget. We won't have to move it up or down at this point. So I think that's worth mentioning.
Oh, it is. The public needs to hear that because there has been concern, how are you paying for this? Well,
yeah,
there you go.
But that is the land value only.
What's that?
The land value only.
Yeah, we're talking about the purchase agreement.
Yeah, that's right. That's
No
right.
further
Requires
improvements
no
included.
new-
With that being said, I've reached out and done a lot of study on actual grants that are available. There's a lot of grants out there available right now for different things. This is a park that's not, if this park moves through as intended and everything goes through, this isn't going to be something that we're going to put an open sign on tomorrow and go. This is going to take years to build. It's going to be a slow-moving entity. It's not going to be something that's going to immediately happen as far as, we're going to have all this stuff. This is going to be something that's going to take years and years and years. And it is our plan, and Thomas and Tyler and I have been in a lot of discussion about this. The money, as they said, is not moving. There's going to be no physical real change in the budget as of right now.
I think that's huge.
The other thing is that the owners have, this is going to be financed, the remainder will be financed by the owners, the remaining balance at a
Equal payments.
Equal
There's
payments.
No finance.
No
finance
financing.
charges, no, nothing. It's just the remaining balance divided by 7.
Exactly.
Thomas, one question I guess I might ask in regards to the actions, the contingency actions.
Yes, sir.
Does the owner have an expectation of completion of this? Meaning,
I would think, just again, dealing with several phone calls and meetings and with the seller, they're just very willing to work with us. I mean, I would be surprised if they're gonna say, you got 30 days to close or this is off the table. I do not see that happening now until Joe presents a formal, agreement for everybody to sign. I think the onus would be on us to put a date on it. They're not looking for one.
I just knew some of this is gonna take some time.
Yeah, and they understand that. And, I told them, you kind of got to get off, and I don't remember what order I wrote them in, but, that number 1 is a huge thing. I mean, you got to get an appraisal. We can't just buy property at whatever price somebody asks for it. It has to appraise. And, And I think you just start working down number one, number two, number three. Does that take 30 days, 90 days, 100 days? You know, I don't know, but I don't think the seller is gonna say, I'll give you 90 days to get that done. I would be surprised.
So right now, they have not.
They have not. I just told them whatever time it took to get that done, and they were, hey, it's fine with us. So, but I didn't ask them how much time could I have. I just said, I have to get that done. And I said, no problem, we'll work with you.
Do you have to take bids for that appraisal?
I would say that's professional services that.
Yeah, there's not many around that do that anyway, so. All right, is there any other discussion? If no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. All right.
Thank you. I'm glad people are excited about it. We are. Look forward to making something happen there in the near future.
Next up, let's have we as a building committee met last Monday with ESG. ESG is the company that's doing the Guaranteed Energy Savings Plan evaluation for us. Just wanted to give a quick little update, starting, my 3 building committee members. I guess you guys have an update you want to give on this.
Yeah, so, you know, you have the ESG spreadsheet there in front of you, and there is a lot there to digest, especially when you probably, I mean, Ms. Crawford and Jason and myself were in this meeting, and Jason, I know for sure, and myself, and can't remember if Ms. Crawford was there, a couple of other things that we met.
That was my first one, the last time.
Okay,
So you were right.
there was a couple other, being the building committee, we looked at some other things. So what, as y'all know, when we bid that out, there is a option to bid out doing some improvements to our current infrastructure that has the potential to pay for itself.
Correct.
So you spend $100,000 replacing lights. This company and other companies like that, when we bid that service out, they come in and look and do some evaluations and say, hey, you know, these light bulbs here that and I'm gonna pick on light bulbs because those are the real easy things, and it helped me to understand. That light bulb's gonna cost you $10 a year to run. I can replace it for $50, and you put in a new light bulb, and it costs $1 a year to run. And they calculate your savings and other things. So you take things such as lighting, HVAC is another big one. They look at your units, and you've got this unit that's 15 years old. It's a, 10 SEER. It's an 80% efficient. To replace it with a new one costs $8,000. They calculate the energy savings over that life expectancy of that unit, and they show you the payback on it. Another one that they looked at, if you'll look in your spreadsheet, was the HVAC unit over at the Judicial Center.
Yeah.
Chris will appreciate this. If you look at that picture, Chris, if you look at that steel door mechanism that was added to that. Do you see that, Chris?
The middle picture, or the first in the middle picture.
Where it says Judicial Center
Page 4.
HVAC.
Correction.
Page 4 of that spreadsheet.
See that steel door that was added? That's not original. That was put on because the static pressure is so high, it just kept blowing the door.
It's 4 times higher than it's supposed to be.
Wow.
And that was the recommendation by the HVAC engineer, and I wish I knew their name, but I
Look at that
don't.
latch on it.
Instead of fixing the static pressure, let's just put a steel door, 1/4-inch plate, and lock her down.
Over design.
So things such as that, getting the static pressures right over there, and I will tell you, as being on the port, since that thing was built, we've had nothing but trouble out of that unit. That was a way overkill unit, but I guess there's no going back at this time. Let's try to make it function as well as possible until it has to be replaced. So doing things such as that, you have some duct sealing over at the Judicial Center. They'll go in there and hire a company to do the testing, do some smoke testing. They'll find the known leaks. If there's any major hole that needs to be fixed, they do it. And then they actually spray a thing in there that will find that hole and then expand. I call it great stuff, and
Like-
seal the hole up, you
Kinda
know.
like the tire
Basically
cord
works
stuff.
like Fix-A-Flat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fix a
fix-a-flat.
flat. Yeah, I think that's what
Kinda
Ms.
like
Crawford
that. Goes in
said.
and fixes the problem.
And so that was, you know, interesting. As I said, LED lighting, the building automation controls on that unit, basically that unit over there is being run manually. Judge Baker gets a phone call, or Gary gets a phone call, I'm hot. Gary goes over there, turns a valve, adjusts some pressures manually, you know, and then waits for the next phone call. I'm cold. He goes over there, it's blowing too hard. You know, he's just manually tinkering with that. And we know not even this system should be running this way. There are those controls. So we need to be working on those again. Those are all things that can and should save you energy, and again, drives our utility costs down. We get to the detention center, there's a lot of opportunity there at the detention center.
Yes.
Out of all of those HVAC units you see there, how many was it that they were recommending?
5.
Oh, I think,
Five.
yeah, there were 5.
5 units to be replaced.
5 to be replaced. The best we can tell, one of them is original, it's 1999.
Yeah.
So we're thinking that is an original unit. But anyhow, there's about 5 there in potential that we could replace to save some money. The roof replacement is again one that, you know, they need to probably explain to me a little more how we're going to see the energy savings in the roof replacement. But anyhow, that roof, whether it is or is not a energy saving, we could do it under this program. That roof is getting close to end of life.
Yeah.
Somebody smarter than me probably, we've had a study done of, an infrared study done of the wet insulation. I will tell you, we've had the roofing contractor that's got the contract to service the roof. All leaks, other than 1 or 2 minor leaks, have been HVAC units leaking. It's not the roof, it's the HVAC unit that is just what happens over time. And we need to note this in our procurement, that if you replace, and I don't care, this is just so happens to be the biggest flat roof we have. If you replace an HVAC unit and the unit doesn't fit the curve, you got to replace the curve as well. That's all the roof leaks over there. They've replaced the units. The unit was a different size than the curve, so they modify the curve. And nothing against HVAC people, but they're not roofers. They just closing holes and gaps, right? Put a little caulk on it, and we're good. What happens 5 years later, vibration, the caulk, the silicone, whatever they use, opens up, and boom, you got a roof leak, you know. So it is to be noted that you should be doing that. So anyhow, that's a project you could do. This epoxy flooring, no energy savings in that, but if you wanted to do this all under the same contract, you could. There's even, and again, these are all things for y'all to consider to do or not to do. There's even a option here to put in a solar array. I know that's real popular right now, right? And so if you wanted to put in an array large enough to offset what you're
Spending.
using. You know, if you're using 100 units of electricity, this would produce 100 units of electricity, maybe slightly less. He or nobody else recommends selling back electricity to the grid. There's really no money
income in it.
Right now for us. There is some potential in the coroner's office with, again, HVAC replacement, ceiling tiles and light fixtures, maybe even some windows and doors that were in need of replacing. So, you know, when you get down here and look at this, the good thing about this is they guarantee that whatever projects that are listed that you choose to do, that it will pay for itself over the estimated time that they'll show you on the spreadsheet, or they'll pay you back.
That's
So
what they said.
if they say let's just say we bite off a $3 million project to do it all, and we did $3 million, and if they've got a 14-year payback on here, and the total payments over 14 years would be $4 million, they will guarantee that you'll have $4 million in savings, or they'll write you a check.
Pay the difference, that's what they said.
Yeah, right, yeah, pay the difference, not pay you the whole $4 million back.
They'll just pay you what you
If
did
you only
tomorrow.
save $3 million, they'd write you a check for $1 million. I'd like to see the language on that. Again, that's where probably county attorney will be doing some reading when and if we get that far, but that is where we're at. And I've given y'all that. I know as much as y'all do, maybe just a touch more, just simply because I've been to 5 other meetings besides the one we are now, but y'all do need to digest into that and explore that. I know Toomey is having terrible lighting issues, and I'd encourage you to continue band-aiding them until we decide what we're going to do, because there's no sense you paying for LED lighting if we can do it under this contract.
Exactly.
It doesn't come out of your budget.
Wired with ballast, we'd have to rewire for LEDs.
You're right, so let's wait and see what we're gonna do. If we don't do it, then by all means, I would encourage you to do that. But, that is for y'all's point of information. I'll happily answer whatever I can if somebody has a question.
Thomas, just something to kind of add to it. Where we're at with this project right now is figuring out what makes most sense to do. So if you think about this company as a general contractor, they're only going to do what we want them to do. Some of it's energy saving, some of it needs to be done, while they're here. They can pick up and do a few other things. But a lot of this stuff is stuff that we have to do pretty quick, and then some of it is preventative maintenance as well. And we've asked for more detailed numbers on these energy savings, and I don't know if y'all remember a couple of months ago they sent us the information of the utility bills for all of our properties and what they thought they could decrease them down to, or guaranteed they could decrease them to. So we've got another meeting next week.
Yes, within the next couple, yeah.
And then at our next court meeting, we'll all learn a little more.
Well, what this contract's going to allow us to do is to get a lot of things done that we could do ourselves, or we could bring people in, but this could be stretched out over years. This is going to be, as Jason said, kind of a general contractor that comes in and does everything at one time. And then on top of that, they're basically saying it's going to save money, or we're going to reimburse the difference. So I think that's all we needed, was just a quick update. So if there's any other questions.
One other thing I'll add to it too, is you're thinking about what you do want to do and don't want to do, or do nothing. We're not obligated to do one thing. Is again, kind of back to the park, and what makes the park a lot of digestible to me is we have A, save money, and B, we have a payment that's going away that
We'll cover.
So when we look at, okay, let's forget about the energy savings, and we look at $3 million worth of stuff that needs to be done, or we would like to do, whether you divide that up or not. You could cut that down and say, well, we're just going to do 1.5 million because we have to do it. Lights going out, roofs leaking, HVAC units running, 4 times
what it should
be doing. And, you know, you look at those things and say, well, okay, $1.5 million now, how we pay for it, you know? And so we gotta have those discussions, where does money come from? I think if you at least think about, well, let's do these list of things and maybe some others. We have a professional company hired that's gonna stand behind the cost savings. They know how to recommend what lighting to use, what HVAC controls to use, what units to replace, and they can track that and they can guarantee our savings. Yes, is it gonna be a payment, unless y'all know where we can get $3 million, you know, it's gonna be a payment, but the payment is the savings. So if your payment, I'm making up a number, if your payment's $400,000 a year, we should see close to $400,000 a year in cost savings, okay? Now, the thing, if we choose to do nothing and we go in and pick the low-lying fruit and fix those things ourselves, which we should do if we don't do this, then really the opportunity for this guarantee goes away, because they're gonna come in and look and say, wow, there's really not much energy saving opportunity for y'all because you've already replaced all your lighting to LED. You've replaced your units, you know, over here. You hired a company to fix the controls over here. You know, yeah, you can get a few things done, but we can't guarantee the savings, so.
Thomas, just assume, do they finance the project or do we finance the project?
We finance the
Just we go out and borrow the money locally or something?
You can do it out of cash, you know. We've done some research with some other people that's done either this company or others. Some people have used some cash that they had, or a combination of cash, and they had applied for grants, you know, let's say, hey, you know, if there's a grant out there, we want to replace all LED lighting, there's a grant. You can apply for that grant. It has nothing to do with these people. And apply for that grant and use your cash and grant, finance, bond issue, or a combination of all of those things.
And is the guaranteed savings something over the life, like let's say 20 years, they guarantee it as a total over the 20 years, or is it like, is the savings back-ended, or is it expected annually equally? Is that
I think it's over the life. I think, if I read this correctly, it was a 14-year expected payback. So I would assume that you're gonna see a lot of savings year one. You replace a unit, you know, it's gonna be the most efficient the first 5 years of its life. So I would say year one, big drop. Your utility bill went from I'm just using simple numbers, went from $100 to $50 on that unit. You know, year two, it's $50. Year three, it's $50. Year four, it's $51. You know, so they're gonna be tracking that, and you're gonna see that there's a huge savings at the beginning, our utility bills, and then we get used to those utility bills, right? But we have to remember that our utility bill used to be this.
And I was gonna say, I guess that it says utility rate increase 3%. They're expecting rates to go up, I guess annually 3%.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
I mean, that makes sense.
But that's on, I think Jason maybe asked that, that's on them with it, does or does not go up. It has nothing to do, did we save, you know, $3 million, you know, and in this case, $4 million, you're factoring in interest, you know. So, you know, if it didn't increase, it's still on them, the guarantee is still there.
So that's the way I understood.
What you're saying is, like, if your sewer rates, if the city was to do a significant rate increase, they still gotta guarantee it, or?
Well, there ain't no water and sewer savings in this right here. It's just utilities. I mean,
Okay.
just electric.
Like one time he was talking about looking at.
When they did
meter
their
size
sales
and
pitch, that
Yeah.
there was, you know, hey, you could save on water and sewer. I think Toomey's got a lot of those units already replaced, those heads and nozzles, but, you know, the jail is really the only place that has a large consumption of water. And there may be something that they go in there and recommend, and Toomey okays it and recommends it, and hey, we're gonna replace
Could be that the meter's oversized for the usage or something like
Yeah.
that. They could get a smaller minimum or something.
I asked him if there was any savings for water, and he said no,
Not really. I mean, you know, they could put timers on, but I think you already have timers on your showers and such anyway. I mean, they could shorten the time up on some of this stuff, but realistically, there's not a whole lot, you know.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
flush
I think-
valves are right there.
I think I would see definitely more
More
detail.
numbers.
You know, more numbers, you know. I remember back when we were in, actually, Bill probably remembers this, when we were building the CTC, there was a solar option.
There
and It
was.
was like $350,000 or $400,000. I mean, you know, it was some great numbers that it would, at the time, you know, well, you have the money to buy it, but
Right.
15, 20 years down the road, the batteries and the equipment and the solar panels, you know, there's a lot of upkeep. So,
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and there was a decision made that was based more on the payment from the state. Had a lot of bearing on that more than because the state wasn't willing to absorb that cost and reimburse for that. So that was one of the reasons on the school system that we bypassed that option. You know, these are all just preliminary ideas they've thrown out there, ways of saving money. If we choose not to do the solar, hey, it's no big deal. But
Yeah.
this
You
is
can
kind of a
put-
pick and choose, kind of a la carte. So
And if you know, A, you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it, it's no big deal. B, you can pick and choose what, or even add. If you see something like I'm seeing these 1970 chandeliers here, and, you know, but I don't know that they've included that.
I mean, the more
Oh, yeah.
bulbs that go out, the less energy they use.
I didn't think about that.
it's a valid point.
But anyhow, I mean, it doesn't cost anything to quote, you know, so if you say, well, quote it all, and let's bring it in here and see what it is, and, you know.
As long as it's broken down
But we
sections,
don't
yeah.
want,
Yes.
we wouldn't want to do any contractor that way, we don't want to work them for nothing if you
You
don't.
know, we'd have to pay them for that design if there's some design into it, even if we end up
I
not
think-
awarding those portions, you know, so.
Yeah,
Eh, eh.
I'd have to get him to explain that. 'Cause
Yes.
I don't know how that, you know, if we asked him, well, quote it all, we want to see quotes on it all. And we'd say, no, we're not going to do anything of it. The way I understand it right now, we don't own them anything.
No, we're
I
zero.
sort of took it when we asked him for, if we get it to the phase that they actually put time and effort in it, we did.
Right.
You're right. Once we get to the
Bid documents kind of thing.
contract final price and scope of work and review. I'm pretty sure once we get there, they're going to start talking about what we owe if we don't do something.
Okay.
Well, we'll just keep asking until we get to that point.
That's right.
All right, are you guys ready to, I'll tell you what, let's take a quick 5-minute break. We'll return back here at 10:50.
I got a quick question, John, for you.
All right, thanks, everyone. Let's move on with new business. First one is open bids for repairs to the soffit and ceiling of bricks at the historic courthouse. We only received one bid, and that is from Dixie Restorations. They're the ones that actually did the original work this past year for
They talked about it on feedback. Newspaper. What we were doing today. Yeah, because they had already got the agenda.
We received one bid from Dixie Restoration for this of $52,093. Here you go.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you keep that. Dan, we only have one. We're gonna get mixed up. Scope of work. 52,093.00. There's
The bid. I don't know what you think of the bid.
Oh, this is another.
For the soffits and sealing the bricks.
Judge, while that's going around,
Yes, sir.
question, because I'm all about maintenance, especially of our beautiful historic courthouse.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Is there currently, I don't have the budget in front of me, or is there currently $50,000+ in our buildings maintenance line item, or would that require a transfer from another items, or is that going to require that we wait to July 1?
We had money set in aside for just this building. We had, I think it was $150,000, I think, set aside for renovation and maintenance of just this building alone.
So there are funds available.
Yes, sir.
If we did
Yes, sir,
choose
because
to move forward.
the last was, I think it was around 73, please don't quote me on these numbers, around 73, I think is what it was. Okay, Amanda's looking it up, but it was around $73,000 to do the, what we did on the ceiling of the windows, all the mortar joints, and we did a couple other things in that bid. I can't remember everything that was done in that bid. They came back and sealed everything. That's what took so long. They did it over the winter. And then I think I said there was 150,000 set in there. I'm thinking 150 is the number. So this number of 50 will be below that threat.
It's set aside, $200,000.
Okay.
We have budgeted $200,000 in courthouse renewals and repairs.
Right. So yes.
So the balance in there right now is $100,193.25.
I'll be honest with you, that come in a little cheaper than what I was expecting. For
It
this
actually
scope of
did for
work.
me too, for the amount of work they're gonna have to do. Basically, what this work's gonna do, and I told you guys this, the brick on this was built in courthouse was built in 1904, so these brick are starting to get a little bit soft on the outer side from the weather, time and whatnot. This is going to be a sealant, basically a sealant that they come in that hardens all that again. And then on top of that, they're going to go to the soffit, the whole area around the top, scrape, repair anything around it, seal it up. There's holes up here where bats are getting into the attic, so they're going to seal all that up, clean paint, and move on.
So you thought that was going to be higher than that?
Yeah, I figured it would be.
And this Dixie Restoration is the one that done the original work. They done a great job. I've been very impressed with their work. So you have the bid in front of you.
Or is this like a paint sealer?
It's like a.
It's like a clear. It's almost like just a clear, like a water sealer. It won't change the color. Very little, if any shade at all of what's coming.
Like when would we be repainting this building again? I just wonder, when.
Basically, it's going to be like repainting. I mean, the paint on the outside's in good shape. This is just going to be a sealer. It's going to work its way into and seal everything.
You're not painting the brick. Y'all using the word paint.
He's asking.
Well, and it's gonna be like a paint.
Oh, okay.
I'm asking,
I don't
like-
want to get in trouble with the public. Y'all talk about
No,
painting.
no,
this
no, no,
building.
we're not painting
I
the
just
building,
was
no.
curious, what the paint condition was, meaning like, are we gonna seal over something that probably needs to be painted first?
No,
I just
no,
curious.
the
Just
paint,
brick only.
the brick only, the paint on the outside of this looks fine. I mean, everything's good on this as far as it's not really painted.
We painted, we painted the clock tower, last court, not this court, but last court. Painted the clock tower, and did we paint the soffits too, Jason? Do you remember? I know we painted the clock tower last court.
I don't remember.
CNC contracting did it. It was $14,900 and something dollars.
They-
And Amanda, do you remember that? It was clock tower, and anybody else remember?
CNC.
Yeah, we painted all that. CNC contracting got the contract.
The paint's in bad shape.
Right.
I don't matter, I was just saying that,
We
that,
probably should have
Down the
painted
road.
first.
It was this company.
Yeah, I think-
That's a great cause.
it's fine.
I hope you never lose that. That's amazing. Good for you.
can't read sentences that are wrote out for me.
Don't.
I can remember a number.
Well, you were being quoted in the Bowling Green paper on that. That's,
I'll make a motion to award this contract to Dixie Restoration for $52,093 for the repairs to the soffits and sealing of the brick.
I second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Good price.
If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Okay, next item up, open bids for pressure washing at historic courthouse. This is basically all the flat work, sidewalks, the walls and such around through here. We had looked at this once and there was so much difference in the bids that we threw them out and we put a bid packet together and then went through. And I have received 3 bids, one from Pressures On, one from ECC, and one from TPM Group.
I didn't know TPM, is that the people
Yeah.
down at the what, Wayne?
Eddie Hunt?
I didn't know they did that.
I didn't either.
No, they did pressure washing.
That's an eye opener. Seems like a very different business plan.
Which one is that, Howard?
It's pressured on.
What'd you say?
That's Pressures On.
Pressure's on.
Good name.
So we got 3 bids.
Yeah, 3
What is it? Yeah.
for the pressure washer.
Pressure's on total amount is $4,215.25.
Repeat that, 4,000 what?
$4,215.25.
Okay.
Have that quarter.
This is from ECC.
ECC.
You had them like a kind of a spec sheet to bid off of.
Yeah, they're on there.
Oh, they're attached to it.
They're all wrote on the bid sheet.
Bid from ECC is $4,500.
It's from TPM.
You spread that junk on these papers.
Wait a minute. Everybody's bidding on oranges and oranges and apples and apples. Within 2 weeks or less.
Oh, yeah, what was
That's
Pressure's On
Can he do it
completion?
2 weeks or less?
Where was that at?
Is on the bottom.
The very
What's it
bottom.
say?
4 calendar days.
Oh, 4 days.
What's the other one, Jamie?
2 weeks.
But I don't
Haven't
know
seen
if
it.
he means 4 from the time he starts anything else or
That's a difference.
4 from the.
TPM's
It was $7,562.64.
This was the pressures on first. Now, what Jamie was pointing out, and was really interesting, was there's a different time frame of how they thought they could get that done. So it was in a code.
Did you read that?
Thomas, since you've been on the court, do you ever remember any of that being pressure washed?
Not since I've been on court. If it was, the judge did it himself,
Right.
just using our staff. So,
4 days.
nothing we ever bid out that I can recall.
Right.
Now, that's the ECC one, right?
Marcel, yeah. And he put a note on the bottom about some additional work he's going to do.
Oh, he was the cheapest one.
No,
Pressure was middle.
He was the middle one, yeah. His was about 300, a little bit less difference.
Well, I noticed the Pressure Zone also he didn't put a price for cleaning the benches, so I don't know if he's just doing that for free or.
It's on the bid sheet.
Yeah, he put 0, I think. Are you guys?
Yeah, he's got 0.
Yeah.
Do y'all think we should allow the judge to kind of go over these, come back next meeting, he wants to vote on today? I mean, you want-
I'm okay with going ahead and voting on it today.
Not to exceed 4,500, would be my.
So not to accept that last
because,
Okay.
I hadn't seen that one yet, but
ECC.
I think this one is probably, not. Let's see,
The one,
that was
TPM is the one he hasn't seen. Is
What's
that
that?
TPM?
No, that's ECC's.
Oh. No, here's TPM. Theirs was 7,000 for 4 days.
Hey, I make a motion to allow the judge to evaluate the bids and make an award not to exceed $4,500.
Second. Good bid.
That's why they call you the executive.
Yeah.
Don't let them do that to you. Don't let them do
Now, was that
it.
the
Yeah.
Just make you feel good,
extra work?
just here.
Yeah.
I think you go with the low bid, but, it's up to you.
Well, see, the extra, and it's not that much more. That's the one that's 45, isn't it? Yeah. That would be my pick if I was the judge, but I'm not the judge.
And which pick would that be again?
The one that does more for very little more, does more work, offers more work on the wrought iron.
Yeah, but he also charged for the benches and stuff, so whereas the other guy didn't charge.
Well, but it came out to 45.
Yeah, true.
I do things based on previous experience sometimes, and I've had good experience with ECC. He's done some stuff for my church, done stuff and he does stuff for school all the time. I know he does good work.
But both companies are reputable, good companies.
Right, I'm sure
Yeah, I
they
mean,
are,
no-
but I've
no-
never had done any business with Pressure On. I don't know any.
Yeah, I'm about for him.
Well, Phil,
Pressure On.
Now the pressure's on you to
Yeah,
make
I
it.
appreciate that. Thank you, guys, every one of you for that. I have a motion and a second. Is any other discussion?
Nope.
If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. It's okay.
Look, you don't stress over spending $3 million, but 4,500? Goodness gracious.
Oh,
Oh,
that's-
burden on me that I just cannot bear.
That's not what the stress is about, sir. Open bid for single wing bash. All right, let's restart this. Open
You know how I
bids
feel.
for single wing bush hog and tractor at the Logan County Road Department. So as y'all know, we put bids out, and part of that bid was, as far as the tractors, was the trade-in for a Zetter, which if we vote on these tractors today, we will need to make that Zetter a surplus item as part of that trade-in. So that will be new part of the motion.
It dawned on me earlier in court.
So we've got bids from three different companies, excuse me, H&R AgriPower, Hudson, and Hobby Dye Green.
We'll take turns passing around.
So
This is
Oh, that's just,
first up is
surplus to the
the Case tractor.
Oh, that's not the bid itself, this is the surplus.
Yeah, that's the surplus.
Okay,
That's the one
surplus.
that's the surplus.
Yeah. Is that it? Is that
This
right?
We're gonna start with all the H&R AgriPower. This is for one of the tractors. This is a Case.
I love you guys doing your.
They're
new budget. It's so cool.
The Case, now, from what I understand, well, we have a representative from H&R. This trade-in value is good on all tractors that you have supplied, correct? Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. The trade-in value that he has done is $8,500 for the Zetter tractor. I'm gonna go ahead and give you that. This will go with all three tractors, the International, or I'm sorry, the Case, the New Holland, and the Kubota. So we'll start with the Case, $70,500.
Is it? See, you would know, I'm not as familiar. I thought it was 75.
the trading was
Oh, yeah, was it?
New Holland.
No, that was the case.
Oh, I went with it.
Okay.
The next one is a Kubota for $72,500.
Really? You know your machines, I told everybody, you know that's.
The case was 70,500.
Yes.
Did you rip it?
I did, I could
I
have.
thought it was 70 even.
I cut the whole bottom of it off.
Okay. I'll put my 5 over there.
The next one is the New Holland unit for $74,500.
Anybody got some tape?
It was more.
These are all 100 horsepower, Pee Wee.
Yes.
And the last one from H&R is the Land Pride unit, a 10-foot heavy-duty rotary cutter for $21,000.
Is that the Batwing thing?
Single wing.
Oh, single wing.
Single wing.
How much did you say that was, Judge?
21,000.
20 even? Yes. 10 foot.
Okay,
Who's this?
this is Hobby Dyed and Reed. We need to check the unit numbers to make sure we're apples to apples on these, but their Kubota, a 2024 Kubota, is $67,799, and the Land Pride rotary cutter is $22,152.44, and they're also allowing $7,500 for the Zetter trade-in. What was the Kubota unit at H&R?
72.
No, I mean, what model number was it?
M6S111.
It's an M6 versus an M5.
So the M6 is a bigger tractor.
Okay, so we need to look at,
On the M5, the Hobby Library there should be another number behind it, but M5 111.
Have you got that?
I'm gonna look at them all, side by
Oh, one
side.
time.
Yeah.
It's two of them.
How much was the
Hey.
on that
Oh,
one?
this
Hobby
one
Lobby?
right here, I just need to see.
Jamie's got it. Jamie, what's the price on the Land Pride?
For which company?
Hobby Done Reed.
22,000.
22,152.
Point four.
And the ones from H&R is 21.
Is that the same machine? The same
Same
machine from
machine.
H&R?
It is.
Just less.
Lord, what is this? What is going on here?
That's a, hey,
Feels like good.
Joey's got
that's
a
a
night
dangerous
fight.
little unit right there. The next one we have up is from John Deere Hudson Ag. The tractor alone is 76,500, and they are offering a trade-in for the Zetter of 5,000.
Less trading and higher expense.
There you go, sir.
Did they not quote a bush hog?
No, sir. I don't. No, sir.
In your experience, what's the better tractor?
I think it's,
When I was on court and they voted to buy the Zetter, I didn't think it'd last 5 years, and that thing's how old now, Pee Wee? Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? You may be brand specific, and I'm not brand specific, but I had that mentality that Zetter wasn't gonna take the abuse that we put on tractors, and it's outperformed the green paint.
Really?
Yeah, ask Pee Wee about it. He's not happy with the green
Well, I tell you
paint here
one
lately.
thing, we have a Kubota, man, that thing just never needs maintenance. We do some, but it doesn't require it.
is that M5 like an economy model or something?
So, yeah, so when you go to Kubota, Case, and Deere, on the Deere size for like what Pee Wee and them are looking for, Deere has an A and an E model, or an E and an M, I'm sorry. The E is gonna have a 3-cylinder, lighter duty tractor, and then their M is gonna have the bigger 4-cylinder heavy duty axle. That's what the Case is with
See, you know your machine.
the A and the C. So the A model and Case and the C model and the Case. The C has the 4-cylinder, which is what's priced up, and it's gonna have the heavy duty axle, everything on it. The Case that I priced up is, deluxe. It's gonna come decked out. It should have the 540 PTO and 1,000 PTO spline. Then when it goes to the Kubota, the M5 and M6, yes, it's just gonna be the size of the tractor. Yeah, they can both produce out the same, horsepower and everything, but you'll be looking at other components and stuff that might be different.
Some more's coming down the pike.
Bring it on.
You ready? Okay. Coming down.
What's your
Judge, it'd be my recommendation to you and to Pee Wee as well that we either A, table it and take a break and let the equipment committee spend 15 minutes, or B, let the committee meet after court, and make a recommendation before next court meeting. So if the tractor needs to be purchased now, I'm happy to take a 15-minute break, but I couldn't sit here and make a decision in 5 minutes without reviewing that.
I agree. I think the equipment committee. I don't remember who was even on the.
Jason, myself, and of course Barry used to be, and I don't know if we ever replaced Barry. I don't know if Chris gets it because of where he sits, but that's who was on. Yeah.
Well, let's
Jamie's on. I don't know.
If we're good with that, let's take a quick 10-15 minute break and get with Pee Wee, and then go over these with the equipment committee, and you guys can come back with a formal recommendation.
So tabled for a little while?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
15 minute, please.
So do we leave?
No, we're just Here's the bid,
Did y'all come
bid
to the same?
explanation
All right.
with Mr.
Thank you, everybody, for your patience. Our committee has returned with a potential answer for us.
After reviewing the 4 tractors that was presented, the building committee felt like the Case IH model FC 100C4 from H&R Agri-Power was the best fit for what we needed. That tractor is, after trade-in credit, is $62,000. And then after looking at both bids on the bush hog was 100% apples to apples, and the H&R Agri-Power bid once again was the cheapest for $21,000. So I put in the form of a motion that we accept H&R Agri-Power and Russellville's bid for $21,000 on the Land Pride bush hog, model number RC5710. And we accept their bid on the Case International tractor, model number FC 100C4 for $70,500 minus the trade-in credit of $8,500 on the Zetter, which gives the total of $62,000. And in this motion, I add surplusing the Zetter tractor, model number 9040, from the Logan County Road Department inventory, surplusing it out.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion on this?
Those are budgeted line items. They are
Yes, sir.
in Pee Wee's budget, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If there's no other discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Next up is discuss quotes for equipping 2 Sheriff's Department's cruisers. Sheriff, you care to give us a little rundown on what we're doing here?
Those are just 2 quotes for equipping the Chargers. They're pretty much somewhat identical. Setups are different, but the equipment is pretty much the same thing. So I'd like to I think L&W was the lower bid, so I'd kind of like to go with that bid.
I'll make a motion to accept L&W emergency equipment bid of $16,715.43.
Second.
Are you doing 2?
Yes, it's
That was the
should be
first
per car.
Yeah, per car,
Yeah.
for a total of 2 cars.
I still say
It's not per car, it's a total.
No,
For
it's
2
per
cars.
car.
So it's 16,000,
71543 times 2.
715.
Let's give about 33.
Yeah, I have them break it down separate so that way I can equipment list it for what's in each car, which is the same thing.
Budget.
Yes.
Where's this company out of?
Lawrenceburg.
Lawrenceburg.
They just had the street address.
Which we've done business with both of these companies.
Yeah, originally it actually did the Durangos, and so L&W ended up being a little bit cheaper, so we'll just go with them. That way they both get business.
Yay. Did you already make the
Yeah,
motion?
we're motioned in second.
Right,
Okay, we're good.
just
Roll call.
make sure all the discussion was over with. If no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Thank you much.
Thank you, sir. Next, approve the change order to the Net Green contract, adding 1 phone line at the Logan County Animal Shelter.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Will
Sorry.
we have will there be a new telephone number? 'Cause I guess the Humane Society took the old one.
No.
No, it's same.
No, it's the same phone number. We're just moving it to Net Green versus where they had it with Electric Blank.
They'll just have 2 separate phones there, right? So they can
No.
get 2. No.
One phone.
Replacement.
Yes,
Okay.
1 phone.
All right.
That way it connects to all of our system phones.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
That was a good question, Tyler. I hadn't thought of that.
Number 6, discuss allowing mission-critical partners to do an assessment of the current radio system. Basically, this is a engineering firm that is going to do an assessment for the county, putting together where our towers and whatnot should.
Infrastructure,
Yes.
work direction the county needs to, so see what assets and stuff we need.
Is this a free service?
No.
Okay. I'm look to the bottom page. to find-
So there's two different options on the pricing page. And one of them is a remote study. They've got special software to do remote engineering, and the other option is for them to be here on the ground doing it.
I want them on the ground if we're gonna do it, to be honest with you.
I'm not spending no money for no remote service.
Have you worked with this company on any other?
I haven't. I know people that have. The closest one that they've done to us is Dixon County, Tennessee, and that was just recently. And I did talk to that 911 director, and they was happy with them.
We can also remember that we transferred that $186,000 to the EOC to go towards exploring our radio stuff, so we could pay for that out of this funding, right, Judge?
I'm assuming so.
Unless there's already another line item that y'all already.
There isn't a line item for it.
Okay.
Is this something we need to take action on right this minute, or is this something we can let the? Do we not have a committee?
We do have a committee. It's Thomas, Tyler, and myself.
Have y'all?
I've looked over it.
Okay.
Thomas has looked over it.
We've spoken.
Oh, okay.
Did I? Tom, did you have a chance? You looked over this. No, you haven't. I thought I said.
I skimmed it, Jason, I'm not gonna tell you a lie that I read it all. I did in principle do believe that if we are going to do something with radios, like something big with radios, like changing systems or putting up more additional towers, I think the first step, kind of like when we talk about the parks, we gotta hire a consultant, independent, not trying to sell you nothing, not saying this system is the best system in the world and the report says it, We've got ourselves in trouble, not in trouble, but I don't know that we made the best decision last time we hired or put up radio systems. We kind of got our engineering report from the guy who's selling the radios.
And that was one of the first things I asked them was not vendor specific, that we just wanted the report so we could take it whichever way you wanted to.
Well, we know we've got to start somewhere because it's a need. So I mean, if this is step one, and
This is the first crucial step in making sure that when we do replace this radio system that's at end of life, or maybe even past that, this is the first crucial step of ensuring that the radio system we put in is the proper system for this county.
And I don't think it's a bad idea to let the court review all of that. I mean, that's a big document. For me, it's a big document. It's 33 pages. So,
well, I mean,
I don't see no emergency of making that motion today.
No.
Let everybody take this in, and if you have questions, call the judge, call Mr. Wilson directly with those. Let's make sure that the assumptions I just gave you are not just assumptions.
I will say that if I were to be recommending today, what I would want to do, it would not be the cheaper route, which is them just doing it remotely.
oh no,
We want them to be here,
working hand in hand with Derek and
take a radio and drive out somewhere. Yeah.
No, I would be with them if they was here. I'd, all around the county. But this study also, if we decide to do something this year with the radio system or 5 years from now, the lay of the land's not going to change.
Right.
yeah, that's true.
So,
I mean, if the judge has reviewed it
what's your recommendation?
and it's his recommendation,
I would rather have them here on the ground.
But you recommend going with them?
Yes.
It's a professional service. I mean,
I'm not going to look it up in you.
Okay.
If he's happy with it, I'm happy with it.
Committee had already.
Well, they have good references.
The
and-
references are in the,
Yeah, I seen that.
They're in there. I
yeah,
saw
with
that.
phone numbers, email contacts, with everything they've
And it
done.
was how much money?
30,000.
30,000.
Oh, I'd say just go with it.
Yeah, y'all two down at the end, ready to rock and roll, let's go.
All right, I'll make a motion to allow, to accept Mission Critical Partners, is it a bid
Option 2.
or is that a quote?
It'd be a quote for option 2. It's professional
Yeah.
service, so.
To accept Mission Critical Partners quote for option 2, their professional service of, fee of $30,000.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, and a second. Is there
And
any
then I
other
guess, do
discussion?
we need to mention to pay it out of that special line item of,
Yeah, we gotta know where the money's coming from.
you know?
Not a special line item
Right.
for it, that's just cash in that fund.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So the only question I got, and this is probably for Joe, is this considered professional services? Because it is $30,000, which would require the judge to obtain quotes, or bids. He doesn't have to advertise it because it's under 40, but I
What
just
exactly
want-
are they doing?
they are coming to engineer and do an assessment of our current radio system and make recommendation of future needs.
And based upon our land structure?
Correct.
I think anytime you get into engineer stuff like that, that sounds like professional services to me.
Right.
Did I talk?
Yeah, you and I spoke on
Right,
it.
10.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, didn't mean to put you on the spot, but
No,
I just didn't want to pass this
Yeah.
and we didn't.
Coverage
follow
in the
the
buildings
rules.
and stuff too.
Yeah.
Correct. You know,
Okay.
is there any other discussion?
No.
If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes,
Baker,
Yes.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
thank you for.
Thank you, Derek.
Next up, yeah, absolutely. First step on getting this radio system correct. Number 7, approve the previous signed KPDI grant agreement for construction and improvement of the lift station located at Hopkinsville Street in the amount of $666,739.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion is second.
Thought you'd never make that.
No further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes,
Yes.
You're hard on all of us.
Number 8, approve the previous signed EDF grant agreement for the industrial access road and improvement in the west, and improvements in the West Industrial Park in the amount of $1,101,400.
So moved.
Second.
A motion second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
yes,
Baker,
Yes. Next up, approve the previously signed KPDI grant agreement for site prep and construction of a 100,000 square foot spec building and build-ready pad at Shelton Lane Industrial Park in the amount of $2 million.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second.
Is this just proceeding on with the grant
Yes.
application?
Well, this is just accepting that the grant would run through the county, the money would run to the county and come back.
But we haven't been awarded or anything like that?
No, it's
yeah,
been awarded.
yeah, you received the money a while ago.
Well, we haven't
Money
voted
account.
to do the building yet.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
You received $2 million a while ago.
Yeah, I know
That came
that.
from the state
Yeah.
for that project.
We voted on the $5 million,
We voted on applying for a grant.
and we got it.
And we got it.
Okay, we got the grant.
Yeah.
But we've never voted on any terms of like payment and that sort of thing
So,
and the rest.
correct, that has not been done.
We've agreed to be the
Co-sign.
co-signer.
Correct.
90%.
Correct. Correct.
Rest of the
So
10%.
You are,
2/3 of the way there.
you really are at the point of no return once you vote yes right here. There would be no return. It would be hard. Somebody's gonna sue you. The IDA is gonna sue you for holding their $2 million, right? IDA applied for that grant, but there has to be a vessel for that money to go through. And so the vessel was us. The state gave us the $2 million. Now we're giving it back to the IDA to go towards this project. I guess if you didn't vote to move that money to them, I would assume they're gonna be upset, is what I'm saying.
We can go back to that. I'll remove my vote from, I mean, because I'm not going to vote to do something that, and not know what the end result is.
Yeah, we haven't voted on the term. Nobody's gone to the bank to borrow the remaining of the money.
So at this point, it could be a $500,000 payment a year, it could be $1 million payment. I mean, we don't know.
We don't know.
So if I vote yes here, I'm also agreeing to the unknown payment.
Yeah, I guess, no.
No.
You're
Okay.
not. There's
No.
another vote, but I guess if that got stalled out and it didn't pass, everything we're doing right now would be reversed. You'd have to, IDA would have to give the money back to us, and we'd have to give the money back to the state.
Okay.
So there's gonna be several off-ramps if the terms of the loan aren't favorable, because we'll have to go through that similar process with the airport where.
Right.
Okay. As long as I'm not agreeing to a payment that I don't know what the payment is yet. then
No,
No,
then
no,
I'm
no,
good. Okay.
no.
All right.
But you are one step closer.
Well, that's, okay.
You know, I just want to be transparent.
I know.
I don't want to think I'm
hoping that
sliding you
we,
down a slippery
I'm
pole.
hoping that we know soon what that payment's gonna be before we continue this to go.
Yes,
Did we motion in a second?
yes.
Okay, I do have one question.
Who seconded?
Chris.
So that $2 million is liquid money that's gonna be in the IDA's account. Okay, so are they gonna take that $2 million, does it have to be applied immediately to the loan? Does it have to be applied immediately to infrastructure, or is that liquid money gonna sit there and make this payment?
So, you know, this is just Thomas talking. I'm not in that. I'll tell you tomorrow. I'll ask this for you tomorrow. But, you know, that project, because of inflation, from the time of what we
Went
thought
from
it would
5 into
cost.
something to 7 something.
Yeah, it's gone from 5 to 7. So, you know, which keeps us at the same payment, which is Tyler's concern, which is a legitimate concern. You know, but, you know, how they're gonna apply that money and when they're gonna trigger that money, I don't know. They have paid for several, you know, $100,000 to $200,000 worth of infrastructure things themselves out of pocket, some engineering, some bore testing. Chris can tell you better than me that those things have been out of pocket. But when are they gonna trigger this $2 million and how quickly and what's it gonna go to? I don't know. I would assume we have nothing out for bid. So, she's saying the money,
But it's coming.
but anyhow, if it was a check being deposited into the IDA's account, I would assume they'd put that in a money market account or buy a short-term CD, because there's nothing even out for bid at the moment.
Right.
Right.
So,
I'm just, like, I guess my question was, is once this is all finalized, then we're on the hook for 90% of that payment until the building is sold. You know, the IDA has $2 million sitting there. Are they not gonna use that liquid money first?
absolutely.
Yes.
That's
To
what
make
keeps
yes.
that, no,
No.
they'll use that. Instead of getting a $7 million loan,
Okay.
they're gonna get a $5 million
Okay, then
loan.
my,
I'm
that-
sorry, I didn't
yeah,
know where you
that
were
was my
going.
question.
Yes,
Sorry.
Yeah,
yes, yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
they're not, the purpose would be,
To
don't
apply.
go,
Okay.
ask for a $7 million loan, go ask for a $5 million
Right,
loan.
gotcha.
Agreed.
Putting a lot of carts before a lot of horses.
Well, I'm just saying that's where we're at today. They haven't spec'd the building out, and, you know, TVA's got a design recommendation, but that's it.
But just to let the people know, we're getting 100% of our money back when it
Yes.
sells.
Absolutely, interest included.
Interest included.
That's huge.
As well as Russellville's getting 100% of their 10%.
Exactly.
Back.
That's right. And if they were to sell the building at a loss, the IDA is responsible for making the city and the county whole. That's in that document that
Yes.
Joe prepared, and we all signed, the city, the county, and the IDA.
Okay,
Is there any other questions?
nope.
Sorry, I misunderstood what you said.
Yeah, I should have.
If not, roll call.
Wasn't tracking.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yeah.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes,
Baker.
Yes. Number 10, Approved to advertise for the construction of a new bridge. Actually, that shouldn't say new bridge, that should say bridge repair for Thompson School Road, actually bridge widening.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to put this out for bid for the widening of this bridge. If no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Mine's Jason, we share it.
Yes.
Does that come out of your phone?
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes, and let me go ahead and clarify what's being said right there. This, we're gonna put the, to the state for the 80-20 match on this, meaning the state will bring up 80% up to $100,000 cost of this. We have estimates already out there. What did I get? 117,000, I think, was the estimate we got. We'll just have to put it out for bid. So basically, we'll be on the hook for 20% of that 117.
37,000.
We'll be on, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
The
ma'am.
bridge in my district's on hold right now.
Yes,
I'm not
very
gonna
much on hold.
Speak any further than that, because we know what we're talking about. Okay.
And just,
Yes,
because that math don't math if somebody's watching, but
Yes.
it's
80% of the $100,000.
That's
Yes,
how I
the
come up
first
with
$100,000. Yeah,
37,000.
yes,
So
yes.
20 on the 100.
Yes,
All of the 17.
Correct.
And then with Thomas's money he's given us.
He's gonna take it out of his regular.
Y'all will. Y'all will.
All right.
They're gonna hold you down.
Number 11, approved to advertise for bids
can't run both
for,
of them.
I bet you can.
approved to advertise for annual bids for fiscal court 24-25.
I put 23, 24 on here, but ignore
Second.
that.
We do it every
It's
year.
24-25.
It says
We got a
the
motion and a
on the-
second.
On the thing, on the computer.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Before I say yes, the only caveat that went quickly, we had told Jailer Toomey that the HVAC maintenance and the plumbing
Correct.
could come out of that it does not need to be advertised because he already has standing contracts with annual renewals on them.
Correct.
He'll do that at his discretion,
Yes, yes.
sounds good.
right? Yes, sir. Okay, so is that y'all's motion and second?
Yep.
Everybody good before I say yes?
It's all good.
Okay, so those two things are not on there.
Understood.
Okay, all right, yes.
Baker,
Yes. All right, next up is hold a public road hearing for the purpose of adding 2,300 foot to Wild Turkey Lane, of Wild Turkey Lane to the Logan County road system, 2,300 foot. Chris, that's in your district. We're holding a hearing. If there's anybody that has objections to it, please let us know.
I know, we have.
Thank y'all for being patient.
Yeah, sorry.
I know there's a few here that are in support of it. Really, I make a motion to add 2,300 feet of Wild Turkey Lane to the Logan County road system.
I second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. There's no further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes,
Baker,
Yes. Number 13, holds a public road hearing for the purpose of adding 386 foot of Lawson Lane to the Logan County road system. I don't see anyone here in objection to it.
I make a motion to add 386 feet of Lawson Lane to the Logan County road system.
Second.
You can't do two in one meeting.
Just did.
2,700?
Okay, I have a motion and a second.
You know what you can do next.
If no further
He's working on
discussion,
that formula.
roll call.
Getting
Davenport,
Yes.
that road money up.
Well, he is.
I
He's
think
building
about
it
it
up
like
there.
Yeah, don't trick me, I know what you're
Goodwin.
thinking over there.
Yes, sorry.
you're good. Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes,
Baker,
Jason's gonna have two
Yes.
votes next month.
I don't think we have any reason to go into executive session, do we?
No.
I see nothing on post agenda.
Judge, I want to ask one question in regards to the park facility. At what point do we need to advertise? I'm assuming, I'm saying advertise, but do you request for qualifications for consultant on the park?
So what we'll do is we're already in talks with Brad, Barron River Area Development District. They've went through this multiple times. What they're gonna do is I'll have a meeting with them, and get the potentials.
I was just gonna say, I would definitely advertise that.
Yes.
As opposed to doing like
Yeah.
we've done some others. And the reason I say that is just because if we were to come into some federal monies or whatnot.
Right.
Check
Yeah,
box
it will,
that.
it will be advertised. Brad will take care of all that for us.
I wouldn't have never thought of that, I would just hire them.
Yes, it will be advertised as
That has to be.
in proper procedure.
But I say we need to get that advertised soon.
Yeah, yeah. All right, is there any other thing for post agenda? If not, may I entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I got a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor?